Hello, and welcome to the University of Law. Let me just start by saying that some people are a bit disappointed this year because we were only getting 8 episodes in the television series plus the Christmas special, so 9 episodes this year. But that's not strictly true because we have just been given a box set which has got the entire 25th season of Doctor Who from the 20th century run, 14 episodes with special editions. Every one of them having an extended cut with new 5.1 surround sound and new effects. It's basically like watching a whole new season. And I'm going to be reviewing each of those special editions one by one. And in this video, I'm looking at the incredible Remembrance of the Daleks. Now, I love the Daleks, and I love this story in particular. Looking back in retrospect, it really sets up what was going to happen in the 21st century Doctor Who. It really sets up the Time War. Davros wants to replace the Time Lords. There's so much in there which is really a prelude to the Time War, and it's fantastic. It kind of brings the Civil War to an end. It just wraps up the 20th century Daleks and propels that story. And there is there is a real continuity, especially with the Daleks. When you have a look at the thread that runs through, especially from Genesis of the Daleks onwards, there's a real thread from there to today that really is strong through all the Dalek stories. And what's great about this is it's the new effects. Because as I said before, it takes away any barrier that was before. Having said that, this was a story that I have to say was stunning anyway, and this is just polishing it. I was just thinking, actually, there are very few Dalek stories that haven't had new effects, because obviously Remembrance and Revelation have. Resurrection hasn't been released on Blu-ray yet, and I suspect it may get new effects. Destiny has had new effects. Five Doctors has had new effects. Genesis hasn't, but it doesn't really need them. Death of the Daleks hasn't had a Blu-ray yet, but it might get new effects. And then Day and Planet have both had new effects. Looking back to the 60s, if you look at kind of the Telesat reconstructions, there's obviously new effects in those to animate them. That's for the power of the Daleks and Evil of the Daleks. And then looking at Mission to the Unknown has been re-shot. And we've had new effects with the Daleks in colour and Daleks Invasion of Earth on the DVD. So really, it's only the Chase, the Daleks Master Plan, Death of the Daleks and Resurrection of the Daleks that haven't had new effects yet, but may do. And Genesis hasn't, but doesn't need them. So really, you can watch all these Dalek stories and effectively have a really engaging, up-to-date experience. But yeah, there was so much I loved about this new edition. It's got the least extra content of all the special editions. It's probably running a minute or two longer on each episode. But the scenes that have been reinstated are really effective. There's some great moments where the characters can breathe, especially in the first two parts. Some nice humorous additions for the Seventh Doctor that weren't in there before. Obviously, great performances from Sylvester McCoy. It reinsets that amazing Davros and the Doctor exchange about being more than just another Time Lord that wasn't in the original broadcast version. The soundscape is incredible, and the highlight, actually, I've always said, for me, sound is half the experience. I'm lucky enough that I have a sound system. It's only stereo, but I have it in the room. I have the speakers behind, so the screen in front, the speakers behind, either side of me, so I do get that effect going on. And you really notice there's an incredible soundscape there. If you don't have that set up, get yourself a pair of headphones, listen to it on the headphones. If you've got playing through a console on you can get Atmos for headphones, especially for some of the Atmos releases we've had with like Sea Devils. Do it. The sound is incredible. Mark has put an awful lot of work in. The highlight with the soundtrack, though, was the fact that when Ace walks into the cafe in 1963, they are playing the John Smith and the Common Men song from An Unearthly Child. So that was an incredible little touch in there. I thought it was a really nice touch. There's a lot of effects like, the model spaceship landing was faultless originally, but they've added a bit of extra effects kind of just for it flying down. The shots of kind of the ship in space above the Earth, and that opening shot was incredible with the new CGI. The little effects between the Daleks firing at each other are really strong. And it's just little tidying up, like the way that the Hand of Omega now floats around, it looks more smooth. The definition of the coffin is incredible. the transmat again and the Dalek kind of being walked back on itself, the transmat, it's just tidying up effects that were great for the time and still held up, but just sort of polishing them so that they had the same aesthetic, but you just knew that they'd been tidied, they'd been redone in a way that honoured the original but tidied it up. The highlight though for me was the final moments of Scarrow Sun going supernova. It was so much more immersive because you get those close-up angles that you didn't get originally, and we now see definitively Davros's escape pod leave. It was always, you saw a little like kind of white dot, and there was always suspicion whether that was Davros. We now know that he survived. There's no secret about it, so they put that in, and that worked really well. But yes, I love this special edition, and for me, this will be my go-to version moving forward. What did you think of the story of the special edition? Do let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look forward to speaking to you soon.